Welcome to Fox43 AM Live. Joining us now is one of the stars of Nickelodeon's comedy series, That Girl Leah. It's Tiffany Daniels. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning. Nice to see you, Dane.
Thank you for joining us today. This is actually kind of a pleasure of mine. I've watched a couple episodes of That Girl Leah. I think it's hilarious. I was cracking up a lot, especially, and your character as well. You played Trish, the mom of the main character,
Yes.
and it's quite funny. I Trish's dishes, and it was probably one of my favorite episodes, honestly.
Thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to watch it.
Of course. And so new episodes of season 2 of That Girl Leah are coming out September 15th on Nickelodeon. And how much fun is it working on this show?
Well, as an adult working on this kids Nickelodeon show, it's kind of a dream come true. Because I think we all kind of grew up watching these shows and just wishing that we could be inside that television and in the slime and in the mess. And now I'm actually getting to fulfill that. So I'm having a really great time.
That's amazing. I was wondering if you were a Nickelodeon kid growing up. I certainly was. And it does really feel like a dream come true for I'm assuming some adults now that are playing roles in these shows.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm watching the Nickelodeon documentary right now about how Nickelodeon came to be, and I'm just reminiscing on all these amazing shows that I used to watch when I was younger. Double Dare, I mean, come on.
Double Dare, Rugrats, Salute Your Shorts. I was there for them all.
You're short.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I guess, so as you as a child, is this a role that child you would be so proud of having right now?
I think that getting any type of role like this, a series regular on a show, is something that my childhood self would be incredibly proud of. But I'm so happy that this is the place that I landed for my first series, because I'm getting to explore and have fun at the same time of just like building this wonderful relationship with this TV family. So yeah, it's kind of a dream.
That's amazing. And so what got you into acting in the very beginning?
Well, I grew up as a dancer, so I've been in the world for a really, really long time. I also grew up doing a lot of musical theater, so that was kind of my first dabble into acting, but it wasn't until I booked the first national tour of The Color Purple, the musical, that I was given an opportunity to understudy one of the lead roles in the show. And as a dancer, as a member of, like a lifetime member of the ensemble in the background, having to step outside of the background and into the foreground is like slightly terrifying, but also incredibly exciting. But the first time that I got to actually step into that position of a principal character in that show, it made me realize that there was a lot more that I am capable of, and there's a lot more that I should be shooting for.
That's great. Yeah, as you mentioned, you were obviously started out as a dancer, and
Yeah.
you were doing, that's opened a lot of doors for you. You've done movies like La La Land, you've done TV
Yeah.
shows, music videos, you were in The Boys
Yeah.
with Nicki Minaj. So
Yeah.
will dancing always be close to your heart then?
You know, once a dancer, always a dancer. And so there's never a moment and there's never a day that I'm not figuring out how I can like move my body. And, you know, we have a lot of fun making TikTok videos as a cast on set as well. So I'm still getting to move my body in that way. But yes, I would still do a dance job if it fit what I was looking for and if my schedule allowed me to do so, because I just love dance so very much.
That's awesome. And with all of the dancing, I mean, I'm assuming you got to stay in pretty good shape to be able to keep up with all the kind of dances going on. Some of them look way out of my league right there. Yeah, what's your secret to keeping it in shape and keeping fit for all the kind of work that you do?
Well, fitness has also been something that I've been really passionate about. It kind of coincides with dance, you know, moving your body on a regular basis. It's also a meditation form for me, but I love working out. I'm addicted to sweat, so I'm probably in the gym doing a yoga class, teaching a spin class, something at least 5 to 6 days a week. So
wow,
staying active is really important to me.
And you know, along with the dancing, you were also an NFL cheerleader for the LA Chargers. What was that
Yes.
experience like?
Well, I was a cheerleader for the NBA about 11 years before I was a cheerleader for the NFL. So there was a big time gap in between. And I wasn't sure that I could actually still do it. I wasn't sure that I was going to fit the mold of what they were looking for. But it was one of those things that I grew up in San Diego. So as the Chargers relocated from San Diego to Los Angeles, where I live now, it just felt like an opportunity that I couldn't let pass me by. So I went to that audition and I actually got it. So being a cheerleader in my 30s was incredibly fun, but we also got to cheer at one of the smaller stadiums here in Los Angeles. So it was a much more intimate experience than anybody could have even imagined. So wonderful.
Yeah, it does sound amazing. Is LA Chargers your team now? Are you gonna be rooting for them for the forever future?
Yeah, the Chargers were my team back in San Diego, so now that they're here in Los Angeles, I can't help but root for them. I do feel like they're the underdog of this city, but we are coming. We are coming, and we're coming hard.
So we're getting ready for the new episodes of That Girl Lele. You know, in the show, to explain to some of the audience out there who haven't seen it yet, the show, a little young girl, Sadie, whose phone avatar comes to life, played by Leah High. You know, you play Trish, Sadie's mom in the show. So tell us about Trish. How do you bring her to life?
Well, Trish is not very far from who I am. She's very fashionable. She's really, really fun. She's highly competitive, which is not too far from where I live. But she is also a jingle writer with her husband, and the guy that plays my husband is my longtime friend and colleague, Thomas Hobson, and we bounce off each other so incredibly well that it makes it really, really easy to build these characters and bring them to life with each other.
That's it really does show on screen. As I said, having watched some of the show, a few of the episodes, having you guys sing the jingles periodically is always one of my favorite bits. Marv's mugs was part of one of them.
Oh, hilarious!
Forever stuck in my head at this point, I think.
That's the problem with those jingles. A lot of them we come up with on our own, and they end up being so catchy. Everyone on the set is like, oh, I can't get this out of my head.
You come up with some of the jingles on your own? That is so awesome to hear right there. Because you did improv too, is that right?
Yeah, I've done a little bit of improv, absolutely.
So you were a little bit ready for this role. And as you had mentioned before, you know, you're a lot like Trish is. Did the Trish character change at all in order to highlight more of your talent and your strengths?
I think that any writer's room of any show, they're going to listen and watch and observe their actors, and anything that they can pull from their own personal lives is only just going to be elevated even more on camera. So in the beginning, there was a lot of things that didn't necessarily align fully with Tiffany and Trish, but the writers have just tapped into so many wonderful things about my own personal life that is starting to get written into the story as we progress throughout the seasons.
Oh, that's cool right there. Having just like a little character molded into you, because I think Trish does spin class at some point. It's you right there on screen. It must not be that hard to just jump into this role every day.
It's really not. It's really not. It's a wonderful, safe environment, and I have the best time playing Trish. I will say I'm a little bit better of a cook than she is, but she's confident. She's real confident, and that's my favorite part about Trish.
Yeah, she goes all in on some of her things. That's a lovely thing about Trish right there.
Yeah, thank you.
And so what's it like to work with the cast on this show? And you said you were doing TikToks. Is it just a ball of fun going on most of the time?
It really is. I think they did an amazing job casting this show. The two parents, myself and Tommy, were the last two to be cast. And like I said before, we have a very long relationship. We've been working together and we've known each other for over 10 years. And so having us two people in the position of being the parents, it just kind of makes the family dynamic even stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
The kids are fantastic and they're just good-hearted human beings. And I think everybody that is on this show, cast, crew, production, executives, everybody is just so grateful that the show is is what it is and it's doing as well as it is because it came out of a crazy time during the pandemic when we all just didn't know what was going on and how the industry was going to be shaped moving forward. And so every single day I can feel the amount of gratitude that every single person has here. And so that creates an incredible dynamic for everyone to work with as well.
That's great. And what's been your favorite moment so far on set?
You know, Dane, I actually just had it. So, you know, the Nickelodeon thing is there's going to be some sort of gag, some sort of mess, some sort of slime or something in the series. And last season, Tommy, my TV husband, he got the brunt of it. And I was waiting all season long, like, when is it coming? When are they going to just ruin me with slime? But I got to swing on a Christmas tree, like do a stunt swinging around in a Christmas tree, which was an amazing experience. But then this season 2, the episode that we just filmed topped the whole thing. I don't want to give too much away, but my TV husband tries to repair the washing machine and it absolutely goes berserk with bubbles. And I'm just going to leave that right there.
All right. Yeah. You're giving me too much of a tease now. I'm going to have to check out the episodes when they come out, either on Nickelodeon, dropping up on Netflix. I'm definitely going to check it out. As I said, I fell in love with the show instantly, just from clips on YouTube, and then I had to follow and watch more episodes. It's a great show, and I hope it stands the test of time like other classic Nickelodeon shows that we grew up with. That would be amazing right there.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers
crossed.
Thank
you, Dave.
And hey, one last question. You know, I like to ask this to all my guests. Any advice for women out there wanting to break into acting? You know, what does it take to kind of do what you're doing?
Well, my advice for women would be the same advice for anybody that's wanting to break into this industry. Don't be so set on an outcome because there's no one way to break into this industry. Everybody's story is very different. And as long as you are passionate about the work that you're doing and you're consistent about the style of work that you're doing, you will find your way in. Just keep going.
That sounds great right there. Just keep on going. Keep putting in the work.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Tiffany, thank you so much for talking with us today. And everybody, you can stream season 1 of That Girl Lele now on Netflix and tune in on Thursday, September 15th at 6 for all new episodes on Nickelodeon. Thank you so much, Tiffany.
Thank you so much, Dane.